Hey, 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 good morning to the replay viewers. I appreciate you being here. Go ahead, share the broadcast. Put a one in the comments if you're here for the first time. I am not Danielle Winningham, but I'm honored to be on her platform. She is the best coach on the planet. Shout out to Coach Danielle this morning. I'm Tisha Marie Johnson, founder and creator of Your Love of a Lifetime, helping you manifest true and lasting love. And this is the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. I'm so honored to be here. This is day 6. This is the finale. I'm so excited to be with you this morning. It has been an incredible week. So listen, go ahead. Share the broadcast. When you share the live broadcast and you register, bit.ly/, he wants 2020, you'll be entered into a special drawing for some gifts and prizes after the conference is over. But I'm truly, truly thankful to be here. I have a special someone here with me this morning, and we're awaiting another guest who's having a little tough technical difficulty. So hopefully she'll be able to make it on. But if not, we're going to keep this train moving. Listen, it has been an amazing week. The women have come early in the morning and shared the wisdom from wives conversation, and they have been dropping some nuggets. So I'm excited to be here. And again, I want you to go ahead and share the broadcast, invite someone to the conversation. You don't want to miss this. And listen, it doesn't matter what your relationship status is. If you're aspiring to be a wife, then you want to be a part of this conversation. If you are a wife, you want to be a part of this conversation, because I promise you, you're going to get something no matter where you sit. So I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to let my special guest introduce herself briefly, and then we're going to get into this conversation. But go ahead, bit.ly/, he wants 2020, bit.ly/, he wants 2020, bit.ly/, he wants 2020. Hey, Miss Ola, I see you. Look, say hello so we can say hello back. So, elder, sister,
Hey,
Carolyn Ray, go
sister.
ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Carolyn Ray. Most call me Carol Ray. I am the wife of Prophet Eric Ray of New Saving Grace Deliverance Ministry, and I'm just happy to be here on this morning.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm so thankful. I have an incredible circle of women, and they support me, they encourage me, they lift me up. And I'm so honored that you would take the time out to be here with me this morning to share. And so, the concept was that I wanted, yes, to hear what he wants, of course. But there's another piece to that. And I feel that that piece comes from the wisdom of a wife that already is. And from a wife who has been there, done that, knows what it looks like to sustain a marriage. Because, we hear about the bad stuff, we hear about the tragic stuff, but a lot of times we don't hear as much
Mhm.
about those that are successful, those that are really making it happen, those that are standing the test of time. So I really appreciate you joining me this morning and sharing, wisdom from your perspective.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about this conversation. So tell the people how long you've been married, tell them how many children you have, grandchildren, that kind of thing.
I have been married 31 years. It will be 32 years, November the 7th. We have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. My girls are the oldest. We have 8 grandchildren. Um, what else do we do? We've started a business. We failed at business. We've lived through it. We've stepped out on faith, started ministry. If it's anything that have thought of to have gone wrong, we probably been through it. Probably been through it. Encouraged each other, strengthened each other, and came out on the winning side of it. What I have learned in this 30 plus years of marriage is never say never. Never say what you're not going to do. Never say what you would do, because you don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation and have to pray to God about it to get the right answer to move forward in it.
Wow. Never say never. I've learned that in life in general, but In marriage, you're absolutely right. There are some situations that you really don't know. Even if you look at someone else going
Uh,
through the same thing, you still don't know.
Right. And
Uh,
we have thing, oh, I wouldn't have did that if I was her. Well, you don't know what you would have did because it's not your situation. So
Absolutely.
in that situation, you really don't know unless you plan on laying in the bed and think, man, if I was in that situation, well, who does that? Who wants to be in the worst situation and have to plan out that? You
Right.
know, once things happen, you just pray to God about it and ask God, where do I move from here? So, in this 30 some odd years, there's been a lot of crying in the carpet, a lot of been on my knees. And people think because you're married to uh, gospel, someone in the gospel, that it is easy. I think it's worse. You have because you have, you have more trials, you have more temptations, and I've learned that once you are upfront, you set out there to be talked about. People gonna make up stories that are true. People gonna make up stories that are not true, and you have to learn to trust your mate, communicate with your mate about, hey, I heard this. Did you hear that? Wow, and here's the new story on us this week. So, you know, you have
Wow.
to trust the God in your mate. First of all, trust the God in your mate, knowing that he has the fear of the Lord till, and when you hear it, that's not true. That's not my husband. Some things you take to him, and some things you just learn to give it to the Lord.
Wow. So, how do you, or what do you do to effectively separate the man, the preacher, the pastor from Eric, my friend, my lover, my husband?
Okay, now that's a good question because we have this conversation quite a bit. And when I come to him, I'll say, hey, I need to hear the preacher. Or I need you to talk to me as my husband. Don't give me scripture. Don't give me uh the what you would say over the pulpit. I need to hear what you're saying to your wife because when I come home, I'm not first lady of New Saving Grace. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother, and I'm a housewife. When I leave out the door, I have a job. You know, you have to
Right.
learn how to change hats. We constantly learn how to change hats. My husband, last year, he got a motorcycle for where do we help him get that for Father's Day or whatever. But when he puts on his motorcycle gear, he's not going out on his motorcycle preaching scripture. He's enjoying his motorcycle. So you have to learn how to uh, change hats in whatever situation that you're in. That was never hard, I would say, for me to do because what if you've been in church all your life, you don't want to be just bogged down and tired with just church. You want to learn how to go out. We love to ballroom, so we have time where we'll go out in ballroom. We love watching movies. We go to the show. Yeah, there's some people. What, the pastor dance in ballroom? Absolutely, because when I'm with my husband and we're trying to be intimate, I don't want to hear hallelujah, salvation, and glory.
Come on now.
I don't want to hear that. I want to be with my husband. We turn our phones off. We be with each other because if you don't learn how to separate the world from coming into the intimacy, then you're going to be bogged out. You're going to be confused. And you know how they say you get churched out? You'll get tired of always. You have to learn how to minister to myself. And today, I don't want gospel music. I like to turn my jazz on and clean my house up. I like to turn on. I'm a Beyonce fan. I lost my first 50 pounds learning all of her dance routines
Wow. Okay.
and losing weight. So it's like I could have did it to gospel music, but Beyonce had that I needed to get where I was going.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Because I know a lot of people that either think you are always in those roles, or, you know, some people are, they're always turned on in the position.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, there are times, even in some of our interactions, I always honor you. But I know when to be like, look, sis, you know, big sis, this
Right.
is what I need. Or
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to you, Elder Carolyn, this is what I need. So, we do have to learn when and when not. And what I like what you said is you tell him when you need your husband versus when you need your pastor.
Absolutely.
I think that's key. We have to effectively communicate with our partners, because otherwise none of it is going to work.
Mhm. And here's another thing that I learned too, sister. I've learned that when it's something hard for me to go to my husband and address him about, I pick up my phone in a minute and text it. Hey, I'm having a hard time. I don't know how to come to you with this. So just let me put it on. Let me text it to you. And then he'll come up. Most of the time he in the basement. But he'll come up and say, hey, what happened here? And then I'll say, well, and then once that door is cracked, you got to learn how to step on in and say, hey, yeah, I'm having a hard time with this. And I need you to help me out. Then sometimes I've told him, first come to me. I need my pastor to come to me. And I need my husband. Hey,
Awesome. Hey, Miss Jackie.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm enjoying all the knowledge.
Awesome, awesome. I share with the people that we be awaiting your arrival. So I'm glad that you made it. This is my sister friend.
Oh
We
my
have known
God.
each other for 20 plus years.
Yes.
We started off as co-workers, and the relationship evolved and has taken us to this point. I love, love, love me some her. So, Jackie, introduce yourself briefly. Just tell them who you are. Tell them a little bit about you. Tell them how long you've been married, children, grandchildren,
Okay.
all that.
Oh wow. Jackie Mathis, married to Mr. Kenneth Mathis. Um, let's see, we've been married 34 years.
nice.
Three boys, one grandson. Um, there's nothing much else to tell. I love the Lord. I love my family. Um, Member of Brightmoor Christian Church, and out here in Novi. But enjoying being family oriented. So not much else I do to tell other than shopping, which we ain't doing that right now. So that's
Right.
good.
Awesome, awesome. And one of the things, and I think I shared with you years ago, that drew me to you is you reminded me a lot of my aunt, um,
Mhm.
who had children. She had more children than you did, of course, but just the same beautiful spirit. I
Oh,
just, it was just a connection. And so we've been that way ever since. So, welcome to the Wisdom from Wives conversation that I'm having. This is the What He Really
wow.
Wants Relationship Summit. So we've been sharing with wives over the last, this is the sixth day, the final day,
Okay.
and just sharing wisdom to help women that want to be wives, and help even wives that currently are, to help them achieve long lasting love and marriage. And so, what would you say is the has been the main thing that has sustained your marriage?
Um, the main thing is, I believe, because both of us love the Lord. Um, I don't know. I mean, there are relationships that last forever without it. I don't know too many of them, but because I guess because we eventually we are on the same page. maybe not always during marriage because there's ups and downs. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, we both know that the Lord is our center and that it is by grace, because it's so easy. We got married very young. I was 21, he was 23.
Mm.
Um, that type of age that were people were getting married were back when my parents were getting married. They weren't getting married at no 21 and 23 and then staying married.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that has kept us is the commitment, regardless. The commitment, of course, love, but the commitment to the marriage and family.
Right.
Awesome. So I've asked most of the wives, what is it
Mhm.
that you do when you love him, but it's a day where he might not be your favorite person? And I don't mean that in a negative way, but
Right.
just sometimes we don't see eye to eye, or I don't know, just stuff happens. What do you
Yeah.
do? What do you do on those days?
Now or back then?
Well, look, share some wisdom.
Back then it would be me purposely trying to get what I wanted at that particular time. Staying the course of the marriage, our marriage, I've learned to pray more, ask the Lord to intercede, especially when I think it's going to be some other type of issue or conflict or the answer that I don't want. But I ask the Lord to intercede and then go forth. Or even when we're not at agreement that day, it's okay to agree to disagree, walk away, come back and visit later, because I've learned when you keep picking, and you really just acting out of emotion, that makes everything worse. You end up saying things, doing things that you don't really mean to say and do at that particular time. And then that just puts a larger wedge between you to make it even harder to come back from. Instead of swallowing a pumpkin seed, now you got to come back and swallow, something much larger that you got to choke going down because of what the actions that you took, opposed to um, that it's okay to disagree and to step away and even realize, okay, we really need to pray about this. I mean, or we really need to lay this to the side and come back and visit it at another day.
Awesome. Same question, Elder Carolyn.
Well, her last statement caught me to lay it to the side and come back at another day. Yeah, I'm not that person. I can't do that. I can't do that. Over the years, my husband knows when I'm really upset, when I go in the kitchen, very quiet, and I cook all his favorite meals. Hmm. I go in the kitchen and I'll cook all his favorite meals and I'll sit it before. And I remember the first time I did it, he was really scared to eat because he was like, "Oh, so dumb." But no, I want him to know that I'm gonna be the same whether I'm mad, frustrated, or
Mhm.
you're my best friend that day. Now we had some good fights, but I think that's what builds to be who we really are.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want you not to say what you feeling, and I, I definitely don't know how to say what I'm not feeling. You know what I'm saying? We grew our kids up on say when you don't like something. So, and that's what we do. Oh, I don't like that husband. I call him husband. Husband, I don't like that. I don't agree with that husband. We'll talk about. But the wisdom in that is I've learned that if something happens, especially in front of the church or in front of a group of people, I'll give him a little, and he has started saying, "Oh, we'll talk about that at home." Yeah, we'll talk about that at home because what I don't want to do in any instance is to
Mm-mm.
embarrass him, to
Mm-mm.
belittle him because that
Right.
opens the door for other people to do the same thing. And I'm that type of wife where, oh, you're not gonna talk to my husband like that. That's my husband.
Mm.
No, we're not gonna do that. So on our worst days, He has a little man cave in the basement. And I'll come upstairs. You go watch your TV. I'll go watch my TV. And
Yeah.
then with your movie off, my movie off, then we'll come together and discuss that. But I've learned not to. I try not to go to bed angry. That doesn't say I don't,
Right.
but I
Right.
try not to. And that little edge on the mattress, we had a deal where we never slept apart unless he was out of town or I was out of town. But we could be mad as Spitfire, but we still gonna sleep together. And the edge of that mattress, ooh, it hurts something. But you set an agreement and you stick with the agreement, whether it's mad or
Mhm.
that's what
That's
we've learned.
true.
Ooh, stick with the agreement. That's good. That's good. So, you guys, we are here. I am sharing this morning with Wisdom from Wives. I'm excited to be here again. Welcome to the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. I'm your host, Tisha Marie Johnson. And if you have not shared the broadcast, go ahead and share the broadcast. Start a watch party. Invite someone to the conversation. And don't worry about your marital status, whether you are single or married. I'm sure you're going to get something or have gotten some throughout the week that will help you in your relationship. But especially if you are single and you desire to be married or remarried, then pay close attention. Take note. These ladies have been married. Look, they got more than 60 years of combined marital experience. So that's some serious stuff. That their marriages have stood the test of time in sickness and in health, for rich and for poor, till death do us part. I mean, that is wonderful. We celebrate, and well, we don't celebrate, but we see popularized marriages that don't work, or the breakups and all that kind of madness, foolishness. But we don't celebrate the marriages that stand the test of time. And so I'm so excited that you're here sharing with me this morning. Let me say hello to some people that are in the comments, in the various social media platforms that we're on this morning. Hey, Periscope, I see y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, hello. Hey, Miss Ola. Hey, CJ. Hey, Mimi. Hey, D Morris. Hey, Ava. Hey, Verlin. I appreciate you all being here. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Miss Thomas. Hello, Miss Marshall, Elder Brother, Pastor, Prophet, Brother Ray. Thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate you all being here. And those that I don't know, listen, go ahead and say hello so that we can say hello back. If you have questions for these wives, then go ahead and put it in the comments. And I know Elder Carolyn is going to join us in the VIP room. So, Jackie, if you have a few minutes after we're done, we go to the Zoom room and we do a little question and answer. Hey, Dion, thanks for joining us. Little question and answer conversation behind the scenes. So, if you have a few minutes for that, that'll be great. So, listen, you guys, I definitely want you to join me tonight at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have a panel. A lot of them will be available because the ladies been like, where the single man at? Okay, they coming tonight. But what you gonna do to get you together so that if
That's
they're single, are you ready? How about that? Let's take care of that. But I think Evangelist Jimmy Hinton got us all together that we can look, but right now we focused on ourselves and it's all good. So again, thank you so much for being here and welcome. So let's talk about this is a question that thank you for sharing, Miss Thomas. This is a question that I had and when I thought about the two of you, I said, oh, I can ask them. They have children. We just hadn't gotten to it in the other conversations. Tell me, if you don't mind, um how have you been effective in raising your children, having your marriage, and not putting the two against each other
Mm,
and not allowing your children to come between you and your husband?
that's a lot in one.
Ooh.
Oh, um, you said, let me go back. How have we raised our children?
Well, no. How have you not basically how have you not allowed your children to interfere in the relationship between you and your husband?
To be honest, Tisha, I did in the beginning.
Mm,
I did do that because I mean I have the three boys, and there were a lot of times where I put my sons and everything else before my husband. I did do that. I do regret that. But there are a lot of times I did do that.
mm,
I over the years, because I just love my boys. I had to back up and let him come in and do his part. Um, I had to admit it. It was hard to admit, but yeah, and I will agree. There's something that you should think twice before doing. Unless there's some other stuff going on, abuse or something like that. That's a whole nother subject and chapter, which I thank God never had to deal with.
yeah.
But just to what put the needs of my sons, of what they wanted to do and what they asked to do, and what they were involved in, um, even in church activities before my husband, and that was something I had to learn to balance that out, and I was a young mother, so I thought I was doing the right thing. Oh, he's grown, he can take care of himself, but they need me to take care of them. But there was a times when I know I did it, and it was not a good thing to do. So it was hard for me, but I did learn from it.
Okay.
And as they got older, I realized I matured. So I realized, hey, they were always coming to mama. I said, I go this way. I will shoo them back to where they needed to be.
Awesome. Elder
Mhm.
Mm.
Carolyn.
Well, because I had a great example in my parents. My parents, before they passed, were married 65 years. And
Okay.
Wow.
I watched my mom um, separate the two. Um, as growing up, we knew we were not going to sit at that dinner table before my dad came home from Ford's every day and eat.
Mhm.
We knew that wasn't going to happen. We knew that when my mother's and father door was closed just to have quiet time, we knew not to knock on the door, and so my husband's family, because his mother was a single mother and my parents were my whole life together, um, we had to kind of like bring that in. So in Ray, and my girls were first, had our girls first, and I was 20 years old out the gate getting married. And so
Mhm.
my example was in my head, what would my mom do? So, it's like my kids knew you're not going to run in here and go in the pots before daddy eat. They knew that. And there's
Mhm.
just certain things that I knew growing up that I didn't do with my parents that I wasn't going to allow my kids to do with me. All my kids are spoiled rotten to the core. And I'm gonna say it's because of their daddy. He'll probably say it's not, but when my sons played every single sport from Cal to high school to college, he was there.
Mhm.
With my girls, and I wasn't there. I didn't want to sit on the bench and freeze, and I didn't understand the game. So hey, daddy, you go do that. So my husband did that part. Now, when it came to cooking and cleaning, and my boys can clean better than some of my daughters, but um, I did that part. We learned how to separate, and then when it's our time, um, y'all know not to bother us. And I think one thing that really helped me was that I never seen my parents argue. I knew
Mhm.
they argued, we knew our parents would be mad, but I never seen it. So I never wanted kids to see that. So we would go to the garage, we go for a ride, we go to the water. But my kids know, oh, mom and daddy in the garage, what's wrong? Mom and daddy going to the water. Something's wrong. Something upset. But and we've learned to be pretty much open. We kind of like an open book, even with our ministry. We dealing with something, so y'all give us a minute. I don't think it's a sin in that because I don't want to minister, never want to minister out of my emotion of what I'm going through. I need to have a sound mind so I can tell when you come to me with the question, I want to have a sound answer for you and not give it to you out of my emotion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So let's talk about forgiveness for a moment. What role does forgiveness play in your relationship, in your marriage?
70 times 7 in a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Don't override me with, I gotta forgive you because don't be crazy with it. That's my whole thing. We stand on the word, we live on the word, but don't take it to the extreme now. You know, if you're gonna go out there and do something wrong, don't expect for me to say, I forgive you. Don't don't expect for me to be a wimp in the marriage. You
Uh,
you know, and I think what happens to a lot of people in a marriage is that uh we know wimp. We still have a voice. Let your mate have their voice and be who they are, but don't walk over me.
right. Right.
Because there's a part of me before marriage, my mouth would just whoop, and I try to keep that thing under control, but sometimes, ooh, she come out right there. She comes out. But let's communicate about that thing. Don't go do something crazy and go and know because I've forgiven you before that it'll be this same route.
Right.
Same route. Don't
Right.
let's not do that.
Right.
Yeah. And we forgive to be forgiven because we're gonna do some stuff
Absolutely.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look at it just opposite or lopsided. So and with that comes in the respect of that
Absolutely.
person. So if I've done something, then I need to respect that person up and respect their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So, just because you say, okay, forgive me, that's what you're supposed to do. You know,
Absolutely.
so their time heals all wounds as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, it may take a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that they're not going to,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's the reality of forgiveness is what I think about it. The reality. Yes, we know what the Word of God says.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but every day we live in this flesh, and
Yeah.
every day we got to kill it. And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't want to be murdered that day. I don't want to kill myself that day.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
want to be in this for a minute, and that's
Yeah.
okay. You just can't stay there.
They, absolutely.
You just can't stay there. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, forgive to be forgiven because we know we want the Lord to forgive us.
Mm-hmm.
But give that person the time they need to deal with whatever it is that you need to be forgiven for.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we need to learn to forgive ourselves. Oh my Lord, I gotta forgive.
Yeah.
Look what I done did. Gotta forgive
Mm.
myself.
Yeah.
And, and I
And
think more
that takes
to
longer.
forgive ourselves than it is to forgive the person. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
some of us we still live in things way back when. And that's
Hmm.
been covered in the blood of Jesus. And we still go back and bring it up. We still go back and bring it up. Whatever was going on at that time in that situation, we're here. So, ding, you go right back to that same old thing. We have to
Hmm.
learn to forgive ourselves.
Yeah. Let it go.
Sometimes it's hard. You're right.
Yeah.
But learning too in the ministry, some of us don't like to let stuff. Oh, we like to hang on to it because we like
Hmm.
that pity party.
Right.
Later for that, I like to throw that thing top shelf and go on and move on so I can get whatever else God has for me. I can't. I can't hold on to that. And then people that keep like to bring up your past, you need to let them people go.
Mm-hmm.
Let them go.
Absolutely. So again, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in for the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. We are here talking to wives about the wisdom that you need to have an effective, long-lasting marriage. And so I have two special guests this morning, Elder Carolyn Ray and Minister Jackie Mathies. I'm so excited to have them here. It's been an incredible week, and so certainly this information that they're sharing is something that you can use. And go ahead, share the broadcast, invite someone to this conversation. I appreciate all those that have shared already. Go ahead and share again or start a watch party if you have not already done so. If you have questions for these ladies, you can feel free to put them in the comments. And also, if you are not registered and you want to come and be a part of the VIP conversation in the Zoom room, you got to go register bit.ly/, he wants 2020, bit.ly/ he wants 2020. It's at the bottom of your screen. So you can go there and register after we're done. We are wrapping this conversation up, but we still got a little more time. So, ladies, talk to me about advice that you would give or that you do give to women who say they want to be a wife.
Um, for me, is to make sure that's what you really want. Um, Sometimes we look at what other people have and we think we know what they have.
Lord have mercy.
Um, and that's what I want. And but you don't realize the work that goes into that, and it's work daily. It's you don't never have a vacation. But we often look at the grass being greener. But I had a senior tell me one time, yeah, that grass may be greener, but you don't know the manure they using to keep it that way.
That's
So
so
Oui.
when I heard that, I was like, wow, yeah, it's so true. But what would I say is to prepare yourself. And I think back when I got married, I didn't prepare myself. I was 29, 18, 19 years old. That was just what you did. I didn't want to live with him. He didn't ask me to, but I was afraid and I didn't want to just live with somebody. Um, but that was okay, and then what else do? You get married. Um, I know now that in the marriage, I listened to you, Miss Ray, as you stated, you had the example of your mother and father's relationship. You got to look at that person, or especially yours, and make sure you don't take the negative of your family or your parents' relationship into your relationship.
absolutely.
And I know that I took the negative into my relationship. I remember, my parents were divorced, but it was just, my dad was a pastor, but I took the negative part of that into my marriage, that, oh, he can leave me. He's going, or he will leave me because my dad left my mom. But that was a scar. But I put up a wall with that so that if you ever leave, I'm going to be okay. And that put on another type of attitude that really wasn't me, but because of what I had seen or had known or experienced, that poured over into my marriage. So what would I advise? Look at yourself. Write, everybody write down these boards and everything. Pray about the relationship that you want. What do you want? What don't you want?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want not what you experienced and you want to make a note, and definitely don't take that in, because that diminishes the trust there can be broken on, and you're sitting around, you don't even know why, because of what I've seen or heard. But basically, just make sure you're together, because you're 100% whole before you even get with somebody, and going to say, well, I want to complete myself. No, you complete already, because what is he going to add to? What are you going to add to them?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you're mentally ready, and to commit to the sacrifice of marriage. It is not just a walk through the park. Those vows are real. One thing I look at, we've been married over 30 years, and we said, wow, this is fun getting old together. Now we know what it really means to grow old together, you know. So that's that you have to be willing to sacrifice, always giving. But yeah, he's going to give to you as well. And pray about it before you take that leap. Don't just do it because um, you just want a pair of pants, or you lonely. That's the absolute wrong reason to get married, because you can still be alone in being married.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I would advise, make the picture, write it down, make it plain, and pray, because
Mm-hmm.
before doing any of it.
That's,
Elder, same question.
well, I have. I'm one of those parents that if my kids want to try in the street, I tell them, "Come on, let's try it together." Before you go out there in the street and you get killed. So I always told my daughter, you ready to be, you want to be married, ready to get married. One of my daughters is married. My baby girl is not. Girl, you ready to get up there and make up a bed? You ready to get up every day and clean the house after you come home from work with
Mhm.
kids? You ready to cook when you're tired? We famous for running down the street to Dave's, or what is your husband gonna expect you to do? Do he want you to cook
Mhm.
2 days a week, 3 days a week, four? Your
Yeah.
dad eat every day. you know. So when I come home from work, I've learned to be the crock pot queen.
Mhm.
Put everything in the crock pot the night before, so when you come home, all you gotta do is get your sides together. Um, that's that, and that's just the natural part. Are you ready to pray for somebody when you're mad at them? You ready to pray for somebody when you don't even want them to hold my hand and pray? I'm mad at you
Mhm.
right now. Do I really have to? And
That's
that's not
real.
talking about the sex. Can you really be intimate with your mate, and y'all, but you're revving up down there? Well, what do you do? Do you deny yourself just because you want to deny him? I mean, this is a lot of things you need to
Mhm.
prepare yourself for, and then please don't be that person that just uh you want to get married because you're ready for some intimacy, because what happens when the intimacy stops working? You
Mhm.
know, what we gonna do? Do we read a book together? Let's try that before. And what do we do? Just sit and cuddle on the couch? Let's try that beforehand. Uh, if I wasn't married right now, it would be so hard for me as a woman who saw my father take care of my mother all those years. It would be so hard for me to really date, because if they're, oh, I might get beat up, but we coddle these men and won't these boys and won't let them grow up to be men.
Come
You
on.
know what I'm saying? Oh,
Mhm.
why go buy a car, drop my girlfriend off at work and drive her car around while she at work?
Come on. That's real
Mhm.
talk.
What
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why go get a job when my girl get paid? She gonna give me she
Mhm.
gonna sustain me like my mother. We gotta let these boys grow up to be men so that they
Mhm.
can learn how to be the head, and
Yeah.
We're not designed to be the head. You know, we walk around here, our bodies are sick, we aching and we tired because you're trying to be the head. God didn't ordain you to be the head.
Right.
He ordained you to uh, walk side by side with your mate. For
Mm-hmm.
y'all both to bring 100 to the table, not you bring 200. You sit there and wait for it. So it's a lot to think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to think about. Hey, just the thought of would I get married again if God forbid he was to, absolutely not. I don't think it's nobody that could deal with me the way this guy deals with me. He was ordained just for me. Just for me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Say that. Yeah.
Awesome. So now you both are in ministry. And I remember when I was called to ministry, and then I was married, and it was, I'm just talking about my situation. It was a very challenging place to be. Um, and that's just because of what I was in. And hopefully that has not been the case with either one of you. But talk to the woman who has a call on her life. She is trying to operate in ministry, or she is operating in ministry, and still she has to fulfill those other roles. How do you make all that work together?
Can I go first?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Learn your role.
Yeah.
Learn your role. My husband, when we started dating, he was already preaching. I was fine being in the background, cooking in the kitchen. At that time, that was my role. He stepped out on faith. He's a pastor of a church since he stepped out. Now he's been ordained prophet. When the Lord called me to the
Mm-hmm.
ministry, it was like he had to kick me out there to acknowledge my call
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, I'm fine with being your wife. I'm fine with getting up in your shirt, getting you dressed, making you look the trophy piece, and I sit there and smile. Look how good his shirt is pressed. I did that. I was fine with that. I didn't have to do anything else. But when the Lord was calling me to the ministry, I didn't want to accept the calling. I did not sleep for a month straight. I couldn't rest. And my husband finally said, I wish you would accept the call of your ministry so we both can get some rest. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to because I realized, I'm that person that I can minister to you without giving you scripture all day long. And people might not
Yeah.
call it ministry, but you got
But it is.
different people that you can reach the way. And I know God, He just created me so I'm just a ball of package. Sometimes I don't even know what I am, but I can reach you. If God got me ministering to you, I know how to reach a person. So my situation was different. I didn't want to answer the call. I didn't want to be. And I remember when the Lord was calling him to be pastor, I was like, Lord, please give me time to get together. I don't know if I can be a pastor's wife. Oh Lord, Jesus, help me. Now that's just being real. Maybe some people, oh, my husband called the pastor. Oh, I'm so excited. I was just the opposite. Because to me, when God calls you in another level, that's more work. I
Yeah.
want for all that work. I want to just come home and cook and watch him eat and be happy, be satisfied, and let me go shopping. Now that's the truth. But since, I mean, I love ministering to God's people. I do. And I love encouraging and helping where I can. But my situation was totally opposite. I didn't want to do it at first. I just didn't want to do it. That's the truth.
Well,
Yeah.
I can relate to that. I think you said know your role as a minister. I'm not. I didn't become very active stepping out. I still shy away and stay in the background. You know, Tisha or we got a good friend Rhonda will call. Come on, you need to do this, and I'm like, oh well, okay, if you say so. But like you, I minister to people every single day with the Word of God or just with His discernment and what He gives me to share with them because I teach where I work, and when they come to me, if they open that door, I'm going in with it, and now
Yeah.
they may not like what I say afterwards, but it's going to be the truth. Um, but I've seen where ministry out of role can cause havoc. You know, I was on that verge where I was at a church where called the ministry wearing the collar and having to do everything that they were requesting or requiring me to do, which meant that on Sundays, sometime I drove to church by myself, or I um, was involved in ministry so much, and my husband was not. That means I was away from home. So that can cause, and at times it did cause division and conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where, it was starting to grieve me. But what I had to do is like, Lord, I know what you want me to do, but I know where you have me. And I got to not just act out in the flesh because this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what they say I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
had to roll that thing back and say, no, my role is right here. This is where I need to be. I'm going to minister at home first, you
Absolutely.
know, and let those who want to be up front have it. Go
Right.
right at it. I have more to lose here because see at night I ain't going home with y'all. I
Absolutely.
gotta come home here.
Come on, say that.
It's more important for me to have peace here and to have peace here than to have a piece at a time
Mm-hmm.
during the day with y'all. No, I gotta come home and it wasn't just that. It was just even just before I even got the call or accepted a call, just being a mom and taking my boys to church. Getting up, leaving my husband. He's coming late. I'm getting them boys to church because that's what I knew at the time. So yeah, it's know your role, and your most important role, and what the Lord has called you to do is to minister to your family, to your husband, because you don't want nobody else to do that. You
How
know.
about that?
Uh huh.
Yes, indeed. Awesome, awesome. Know your role. That's important. And it's not that you're saying necessarily gender roles, but just know your role in the relationship.
Exactly.
And there are things that, yes, as a wife, as a mother, you should be doing to, please your husband. And if you have children,
Mhm.
then, your children fit into that piece. So, um, awesome answers. Thank you so much. Listen, guys, if you haven't shared the broadcast, I don't know what you're waiting for. These ladies are dropping it, so I hope you picking up what they dropping. Good, good, good stuff. Some wisdom from wives. I'm so excited to be having this conversation with these ladies. We're waiting for our other guests to come on back in, but thank you so much for tuning in. What he really wants, relationship summit. We've been here 6 days. This is the last day. And oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm delighted. It has been so incredible. And I'm just thankful and grateful again. Shout out to the best coach on the planet, Danielle Winningham, for offering her platform to us. And thank you, Coach. I appreciate you so, so, so much. This has been an incredible opportunity. Thank you all that have shared the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. I see you guys. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Miss Ola. Excuse me. Miss Ola said thank you. Great. for great wisdom from both of them. Absolutely. And listen, you want to join us back here tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central. We're going to hear from him. But we had to hear from her because you don't know what you don't know, and you need to get the wisdom necessary. So let me.
I don't know what
Hey,
happened.
welcome back. So you don't know what you don't know, and so you got to get that information. You need to position yourself. So take this information that these wives have been sharing all week long. You can go to my page and watch the replays. And also, if you're registered, bit.ly/, he wants 2020, you'll get the replays after the conference is over. And just take what they're sharing.
Amen.
Bless you, bless you, bless you.
These Michigan mornings and the season is changing. Whew, pardon me. Um, but we are wrapping up. So, ladies, what's the last nugget that you want to leave with the listener?
Wow, that's nugget, huh?
And no.
Um, okay. I think for me, and we're dealing with marriage and the marital relationship is to be smart enough to know to build the relationship. It don't just happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Stick and stay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
know that don't walk in there blindly thinking everything is hunky dory once you get married. No, once you get married, that's when the work begins. And I didn't know that at first, but I
Mm-hmm.
know it now.
Mm-hmm.
Know enough to say it is an everyday thing. And you mentioned it earlier, Miss Carolyn, about praying for your husband, praying for your family. That's
Mm-hmm.
not just every now and again. That's every day.
Mm-hmm.
Be his encourager.
Right.
Um, um, I remember my mother-in-law when I first got married. Was home and she said, now go in the room and make sure when your husband come home, don't take the rollers out your hair. Don't look like that. Make sure you look pretty. I was like, well, I don't know about, but I know now what she
Mm-hmm.
means. Don't be so quick to, and I do it at times. I had to learn to be all cute going out the door,
Mm-hmm.
looking a hot mess inside. Keep yourself together,
Right. Right.
for yourself as well as for your husband. So I would just say continue to and know that you have to build a relationship on a daily basis.
Right. Um, I think what I would say is never say never. Never say
Yeah.
what you won't do. Never
Hmm.
say what you're gonna do. And always stay in your lane, stay in your role.
Yeah.
Know who God has called you to be first, but know who God has called you to be to your husband. Um,
Yeah.
you know, the enemy is always lurking in who he can deceive. And a
Mm.
lot of times, people not knowingly and some knowingly will come to you and ask you questions that they should be taking to your pastor. Well, I've learned to say, "Oh, go ask pastor," because I'm not getting in that. Go
Mm.
ask pastor. Is that okay? And I've learned to. My husband can't read lips. Lord have mercy.
Me
And
either.
and when we're out together, he can't read lips, but he can read my face. And we've learned to read each other's faces over the year. And when there's something going on that we don't agree with, we'll each other. We give each other that face, and we'll know it's not for us.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need to go. Or you have that word, that one word that you know at that particular time. That means
Hmm.
let's go. It's
Key, the secret keyword.
the secret keyword, absolutely. And
Wow.
you know, let's stay with the root. Never change the rules in the middle of the game.
Right.
That's what I was summing up to say. You know the rules. We know the answer to the test. The test never changes.
Mm.
Let's stick to the rules.
Ooh, good
Now,
stuff.
a lot of people take your marriage vows seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been broke to broke. We've been so broke till a 40-pound box of chicken, a 50-pound bag of potatoes kept us sustained for a week and a half at a time.
Mm.
You can bake chicken, fried chicken, boiled chicken, chicken salad. You could do it all up. You know what I'm saying? So learn to take the situation that you're in and make the best of it. You
Yeah.
know, we say it's hard to do, but if you really think about it and you really study it, it's only hard if you make it hard.
Right.
Mm,
Exactly. I totally agree.
awesome, awesome. Oh my goodness. Listen, the time is up and it has been incredible. Miss Thomas said, love the real talk here. Amazing ladies. Thank you so much for sharing words of wisdom. You're truly helping so many. So I'm so thankful for this time that you've allowed me to spend with you this morning.
Thank
I appreciate you so, so much. Would you say?
I said thank you for even considering. I'm glad to be a
Absolutely.
part as well.
Thank you. And I don't know, because, Jackie been rocking with me, through the years and my ministry and everything. And I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm not one to give that little nudge, but I understand that there are things that people will try to push you to do. But when you have a prayer life and you hear from Holy Spirit, you know what it is you're supposed to be doing, and everybody's not going to agree with it,
Right.
whether that's in or outside of family, whether that's church or work or wherever the situation may be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what you're being led to do and stand on it. So again, I appreciate you both being here this morning. Thank you so, so much. Give your husbands my regard.
Definitely.
And tell them thank you for sharing you with us today, sharing you with the world. I appreciate you. Listen, we'll be back tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to go in the Zoom room. If you have questions, come on over. I know there's some ladies going to meet me over there. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you have not shared the broadcast, go ahead, share the broadcast and register at bit.ly/. He wants 2020 bit.ly/. He wants 2020 bit.ly/. He wants 2020. Register, share the live broadcast, and we'll enter you into a special drawing. So until tonight, you guys have a great and amazing day. Until I see you
Well,
there, love you guys.
love you.
Bye bye. Thank you.